Hey, are you a Christian that owns a business? Are you a Christian entrepreneur? You want to know how to increase your faith and trust in Jesus? You know, a great place to start with that is by looking at how well you're doing managing God's business for Him and managing His money within that business for Him. And that's what I want to talk about today. A great way for you to grow as a Christian who owns a business in your faith and trust in Jesus. So let's get going. Okay, one thing I tell people, great place to start with being a disciple of Jesus and really learning to surrender control of your life to Him and to trust in Him, as I call it, starting with the two foundations and four principles. The two foundations are, foundation number one is that the Bible is the rule and the standard by which you live your life. And foundation number two is your responsibility toward the Bible is to do what it says, to obey it. And then on top of those two foundations, we build four pillars, and those four pillars include sacrificial giving, they include praying, they include fasting, and they include forgiving. And so what we want to talk about today is pillar number one, which is sacrificial giving. And I call that the martyr giver mentality. So the point is, we have people that we call missionaries who, in most cases, will give up their friends and their home culture and their lifestyle and move to another location, another country normally, to live and work amongst a group of people that they don't know the language, they don't know the culture, and they don't have friends. And usually it's a huge financial sacrifice to be able to do this. So we expect them to really sacrifice and give up a lot to follow Jesus. But then we will stay in our culture that we know amongst our friends and live our lifestyle and perhaps give $25 a month to support these people and act like we're doing a lot. So they're giving up everything and you're giving up $25, which really doesn't even impact your lifestyle. The martyr giver mentality is giving to the point where it hurts, where you actually have to give up and sacrifice some of your lifestyle to be able to give that much. And that's where I want to get to with this martyr giver mentality, specifically around Christians that own businesses and what that might look like. But to be able to get to this martyr giver mentality, what you need is you need to have a compelling vision of what's the purpose of your life from God's perspective. And you need to firmly believe that Jesus is worth it, whatever it turns out to be in your life. And the number one way that I've found that has worked for me and for others that I've been able to work with in this area is you have to have a compelling, overarching vision or purpose for your life. I call it an overarching vision or purpose for your life. And then when you have that, everything else you order and align within your life for that purpose or overarching vision. And that's what I want to talk about is what is sponsoring this video today is what I'm calling the Northstar Challenge. And what this is about you as a Christian business owner. And I'm sorry, ladies, but this is just for men. This is for Christian business owners who need that guiding, overarching purpose in your life. And once you establish that, then you can align everything underneath that in your life. And specifically what we're talking about is aligning your business and your personal affairs with money. Today, that's what we're talking about. But when you do this Northstar Challenge, it will be everything. And so what the Northstar Challenge covers is it's you and I, one-on-one, nobody else, just you and I, for 5 days on the phone. We will be working through a framework that I put together that will help you develop and create and solidify a purpose or overarching vision for your life for the next 12 months. So the way you do this, all the information is down in the show notes. It's $10. There are 3 nonprofit organizations listed In the show notes, you pick one of those, donate $10, take a screenshot of the completed donation, send it to me either by phone or email, which are listed below, and I will contact you and we'll get this going. Now, back to our show today. So we understand the martyr giver mentality, but what does this look like in your life? Here's what it looks like in your life as a business owner. Who owns the business that you are running, that you are managing? Is it you or is it God? Big question. I think you have to answer that. I would say God not only owns the business, he owns all the money that flows through it, right? And all the money that flows through that into your personal account also. So the question is, how are you doing at managing God's business for him and the money that is flowing through that business that also belongs to him? And this is where we get into the sacrificial giving. This is what I'm talking about. Giving out of the funds in your business to the point where you are uncomfortable with the amount that you are giving. In other words, you are giving to the point where you're saying we're going to have to make some changes in what we do in our business to be able to give to this level. Then on the flip side, you also have, as a Christian who owns a business, you also have your personal finances. And it's not just enough to do it in the business finances. I think this also needs to be done in your personal finances, to where you are pushing yourself to give to the point where you don't exactly see how this is going to work out. That the amount you're giving is uncomfortable to the point that it is forcing you to make changes in your lifestyle because you're giving that much. And that to me is the martyr mentality. And that to me is when you are living your life and I am living my life with the attitude that Jesus is worth it. And by the way I'm giving and altering my lifestyle and altering how my business works because of the amount that I'm giving, I am showing the world that Jesus is with it. Because if you manage your business and run your business the same way everybody else runs their business, how are we showing the world that Jesus is worth it when we're acting just like they are and operating by the same principles? And how are you showing the world that Jesus is worth it in your personal life when you are managing your money and living the same lifestyle as all the others around you? So this is the martyr giver mentality, giving to the point where you have to make changes in how your business operates, and you have to make changes in your personal lifestyle because of the amount that you're giving. So this is what I want you to do. Practically, I'm big on being practical. What is the step that you can do today to become and move toward being a martyr giver and having the martyr giver mentality? Here's what I want to challenge you to do. Whether you're seeing this video during the daytime on a weekday, whether you're seeing it during the daytime on a weekend, or whether you're seeing this video at night, I want you, the very next time that you're at your business, and it may be right now while you're watching it, I want you to go and write a check, and you probably already know a number in your head. Write a check that is uncomfortable for you to write, and give it to a cause that is advancing the kingdom of God into the kingdom of darkness. Okay? So I want you to do that right away. Just like in business, speed is key. Speed is key here. The longer you think about it, the longer you procrastinate, the more you're going to talk yourself out of it. And the only way you're going to increase your faith that Jesus can do what he says, which is seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first, and he will take care of all your needs. That Jesus is your shepherd. The Lord is your shepherd. Therefore you shall not want. If those things are true, they're true. If that is not true, then it's not true. But we don't get to decide which of God's promises are true and which are not. It's either true or it's not. There's no gray area between. Yes, it's true. No, it's not. So we are trusting God that when we put Him first and His kingdom first and what He's doing first, then He will make sure our needs are met. We're talking about needs, not what you want, not what you think you deserve, but needs. So I want you to go to your business the next opportunity you have, and if that's today while you're watching it during the daytime, that means now, and go write a check. You have a number in your head as we're talking that is beyond what you think is possible to give. Give that. Write that check now. Send it, deliver it, whatever you got to do. Don't hold on to it. Send it. And then make alterations in your business based on the fact that you just gave all that money away. Make the changes. Make the sacrifices. Okay? That's for your business. But you're not going to be able to do this in your business on a consistent basis unless you're also doing it regularly in your personal life. So I want you to go to your personal checkbook, bank account, however you want to think about it. Come up with a number that's beyond what you think is comfortable to give, and then give that money today. Give it today to the same thing or something, an organization, a group, a person that is advancing the kingdom of God into the kingdom of darkness. And when you start hesitating on this, and when you're experiencing friction with making this decision, that is an indication that you have a character flaw there, and this is what you and Jesus need to work on. This is where you're struggling. It's okay. This is not, hear me out on this. This is not about beating yourself up, getting down. It's simply saying, this is where my character needs to become more like Jesus. And so Jesus and I are going to work on it. It's simply revealing where Jesus wants to work with you on your character. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So push yourself. I'm constantly doing this, pushing myself in giving, to give more than I think is possible, to give where it makes me uncomfortable. Because the more you do that, and the more regularly you do that, and the more intentionally you do that, and the more focused you are in doing this for a purpose, the more your faith is going to increase that Jesus can do what He says in providing for your needs. And what I found is I get great joy and satisfaction and contentment from knowing I am trying to manage God's money the way He would want it managed for Him to advance His agenda, which is worldwide revolution and conquest through the advancement of the gospel into all the world in the completion of the Great Commission. Hey, if you found this video thought-provoking, maybe even challenging, consider liking it. Consider sharing it with someone you think might benefit from it, and subscribe to it. If you really found something useful in here, how about making a comment? If you think I'm totally crazy and off my rocker, make a comment about that also. I appreciate all the comments because reading the comments helps me be able to helps me be able to create better content that is helpful for more people.